Welcome to ReviewMean, the channel where we go an extra mile to simplify your movie decisions. Today, we will be scoring The Naked Gun, the 2025 remake of the 1980s comedy classic The Naked Gun. The film features Liam Neeson as the star and Pamela Anderson as the supporting actress. But you don't really care about that, do you? You want to know if the movie is any good? Well, let's hear what some trusted reviewers have to say. At the time of making this video, these were the reviewers who had discussed the movie. Jeremy John says this.
You want to know, is the movie funny? Yeah, very much so.
Well, that's good to hear. Liam Neeson is one of my favorites. Jeremy Johns also says, not all the jokes land, but there are so many of them. You can let some slip through the cracks. The Naked Gun's absolutely worth watching and worth buying on Blu-ray. He obviously enjoyed himself. And it seems Liam Neeson's acting had a lot to do with it.
Hey, I won't forget what you've done for me here today.
I would prefer that you do. Jesus Christ.
We'll convert Jeremy John's review to a 4 out of 5 score. Dan Morell says, it embraces what makes these kinds of movies work, which is to pack every minute of the movie with as many jokes as possible. Every kind of joke. And the only rule really seems to be that there is no joke too stupid to be included. He also adds, and I hope that others take this movie as a license to bring back mid-budget wacky comedies like this, because they have been sorely missed and shouldn't just be sent to streaming services. He says it's good, which we score as a 4 out of 5 on our scale. Chris Stuckman says, Paramount is looking at us and asking, are we willing to accept the idea of going to a building and laughing with strangers? Is that still something that we do? And I really, really hope it is because I love this movie. He also says, so, please go see this movie in a theater, pay for a ticket, and let Hollywood know that you want to see theatrical comedies back. Because if we go there and we use our wallets, they will hear us. Spot on, my dear Chris. Spot on. Obviously, this would mean a rating of 4 out of 5. Just like me, 3C Films thought the movie was going to be awful after seeing some of the trailers.
This is funny. This is good. Oh.
But after watching the movie, it seems he was happy to be proven wrong. He says, and I am going to put it in the category of better legacy sequels that actually do justice to the original while paving their own way and respecting what came before. He also says, this is a real blast of a time. Such an enjoyable, fun movie that you also want to experience with the crowd for that collective humor that goes on throughout it. The average of his scores equates to 3 out of 5. Sean Chandler says, and simply put, it's possible that this is the most that I have laughed in a theater in all of my time going to press screenings. He says, it is a movie that has the singular purpose of making you laugh. So, if you're just going for that, this movie absolutely delivers that experience. He gives it an A-, which is 4.5 on our scale. Like an elephant in a circus tent full of mice, Adam Does Movies is very impressed but tries to not give away details in his spoiler-free review. However, admittedly, he says, and I have to say, as great as Liam Neeson is, no one hits deadpan near as well as Leslie Nielsen. And so that's why it's not hard for me to say this. It's barely even flaccid at this point that the new Naked Gun is really fun from beginning to end. But it's still not near as good as the original. The OG's just got a special place in my fart. And yes, he did say fart. He also says, all right, there you have my thoughts on The Naked Gun. Very funny, very clever, a very fitting installment to the Naked Gun franchise. We'll give this a 4 out of 5. With his video titled, The Naked Gun is hilarious, We already know Austin Burke had a great time. Filming in a shady room while on vacation, he says, "And it's such a cliché statement, but I feel like this is the comedy everyone needs right now. We just need to walk into a theater, turn our brains off, and inject the stupidity into our veins." Well, I don't know about injecting stupidity into our veins, but I get your point. He also says, "The Naked Gun is everything a comedy should be." It's relentless with its approach, never apologizing for its ridiculous sense of humor or backing down from the joke. A fully aware satirical throwback that everyone needs to see in the theater. He gives an 80% score, which is a 4 out of 5. With pertinent questions of evolution hoovering in the back of his mind, the critical drinker reviews Naked Gun, offering a hilarious intro that is typical of his reviews. He asks, can Hollywood actually still do comedy in the year of our Lord 2025? Well, surprisingly enough, yes. He also says, ultimately though, while The Naked Gun didn't exactly have me rolling in the aisles with its comedy genius, it did just enough to raise a few laughs and keep me decently entertained for its refreshingly short and sweet runtime. Looks like a 3.5 is suitable here. Kermode from the Kermode and Mayo channel says the problem here with the new version is twofold. The first one is that the gags are much more labored. The second thing is Neeson can do comedy as we've seen, but he can't do what Leslie Nielsen did. I'm getting a feeling that he did not enjoy it. He also says, I thought it was absolutely like a wet fish lying on the floor, flapping. And I thought it was boring and unfunny and a bit depressing. So The Naked Gun is actually the flapping wet fish. That is funny. The only negative review so far. We'll score this 1 out of 5. Price of Reason says, while there's nothing wrong with some occasional nostalgia, I prefer to see a movie forge an identity of its own. And I do think that the movie accomplishes that to an extent. He also says, even though it's nowhere near the amount of laughs that the original movies gave me, I still wasn't miserable watching it. He scores the movie a 73 over 100, which is 3.7 in our scale. Beyond, the trailer says, and the movie, in my opinion, is very funny. I mean, if you think Family Guy is funny, you will think this is funny. If you ever thought Family Guy was funny, you will enjoy this. Well, I kind of grew out of the Family Guy sort of jokes after a while. I did actually love it at some point, so we'll see. She also says, I'm telling you, at some point, you should click on this movie. And I hope you do with enthusiasm because, again, don't go into this movie if you're going to have a bad attitude about it. But if you want to have a good time, if you're like, oh, this will be fun, you will have fun. And that's a good lesson for life as well. Well said, my dear. Well said. We'll give this a 4 out of 5. Okay, those are the reviews and scores, and I have a good feeling about this one. Now let's round up the numbers and convert to percentage. The ReviewMean score for The Naked Gun 2025 is 3.6, which is 72%, compared to 88% on the tomatometer. And what do you know? The popcorn meter scores the movie 73%, pretty close to what we got. Yup, we are that good. So going to the cinema looks like a good choice. And that includes you, Adam Sandler. Perhaps you could learn or remember a thing or two. But just remember, for some of you, this movie might end up being a flapping fish. There you have it, folks. But what about you? Did our score match your vibe? Let me know in the comments. And hey, if this helped you make a more informed decision, or gave you one less thing to Google today, give a big thank you to the amazing reviewers we featured by subscribing to them support their work, and of course smash that subscribe button for Review Mean. Like, comment, share, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, let the numbers do the watching for you.